Okay, today guys, we're going to discuss about the rules or laws of logarithm. So in this discussion guys, isa-isahin natin yung 7 laws of logarithm. At dapat alam natin yung mga laws of logarithm kasi ito yung magsisilbing guide natin kung paano tayo mag-expand ng logarithm, paano tayo magko-condense ng logarithm, and of course, most importantly, paano tayo magsosolve ng logarithmic equation. So, in addition din guys, yung inverse ng logarithmic function natin ay yung ating exponential function. That is why it is highly recommended na dapat alam natin or nare-recall natin yung ating laws of exponent kasi gagamitin natin yon sa ating discussion about sa logarithm. Okay, this time guys, let us discuss one of the laws of the logarithm. So the law number 1 is what we call the product rule. That product rule states that the logarithm of the product is the sum of the logarithm of the factor. So if we are going to illustrate this product rule, so it means that if we have here the logarithm of x times y to the base b, so this is just equal to the logarithm of x to the base b plus the logarithm of y to the base b. So just like for example, if we will have a logarithm of 3 times 4 to the base 2, so this is just equal to the logarithm of 3 to the base 2 plus the logarithm of 4 to the base 2. So this is what we call the product rule. This time let us proceed to law number 2. So this is what we call the quotient rule. Quotient rule states that the logarithm of the ratio of the two quantities is the logarithm of the numerator minus the logarithm of the denominator. So if we are going to illustrate this one, we will gonna have the logarithm of x over y to the base b. So this is just equal to the difference of the logarithm of the numerator and the logarithm of our denominator. So therefore, this is equal to the logarithm of x to the base b minus the logarithm of y to the base b. So if we're going to have here an examples, so we have here logarithm of 3 over 4 to the base 2. So this is just equal to the logarithm of 3 to the base 2 minus the logarithm of 4 to the base 2. Next rule of the logarithm, so this is what we call the power rule. Power rule states that the logarithm of the exponential number is the exponent times the logarithm of the base. So if we are going to illustrate this one, so we will have here the logarithm of x raised to n to the base b. So this is just equal to n, which is the exponent, times the logarithm of x to the base b. So if we will have an example here, so just like for example, we will have logarithm of 8 to the raised to 4 to the base 2. So this is just equal to 4 times logarithm of 8 to the base 2. The next law of logarithm, so this is what we call the zero rule. Zero rule states that the logarithm of 1 such that b must be greater than 0 but b must not equal to 1 always equal to 0. Okay, so if we're going to illustrate this logarithm, so we will have here the logarithm of 1 to the base b is always equal to 0. So just like for example, we have here the logarithm of 1 to the base 3. The answer of this is always equal to 0. So remember that our number here is 1 and our base must be greater than 0 and this base must not also equal to 1. The next law of logarithm, so this is what we call the identity rule. Identity rule states that the logarithm of the argument which is inside the parenthesis wherein the argument is the same as the base is equal to 1. Since the argument is equal to 1, the base must be greater than 0, but our base must be must not equal to 1. So if we are going to illustrate this one, so just like for example, if we have here the logarithm of the number, which is b, and our b must the same as our base, so the answer of this is equal to 1. So if our number here, which is what we call the argument, is the same as our base, so our answer must be always equal to 1. Just like for example, we have here the logarithm of 5. Our number here, or what we call the argument, is 5. And our base is also equal to 5. So therefore, the answer is always equal to 1. Please remember that our base must be greater than 0, and this base must also not equal to 1. Let us proceed to law number 6. So this is what we call the logarithm of the exponent rule, or logarithm of a base to a power rule. So it states that the logarithm of the exponential number, where its base is the same as the base of the logarithm, is equal to the exponent. So this law number 6 is almost the same with identity rule, but with an exponent. So in this case, if we are going to illustrate this one, so we have here the logarithm of our number, which is base, with an exponent. So our exponent is represented by letter n, and our number here is also equal to our base. So if these things will happen, the answer is equal to the value of our exponent. Just like for example, if we have here the logarithm of 3 raised to 2, and our base is also equal to 3, the answer is equal to the value of our exponent, which is equal to 2. Okay? So if we have here the same base and the same number, with an exponent, the answer of this is equal to the value of our exponent. Please remember that our base must be greater than 0, and our base must also not equal to 1. The last law of exponent natin, guys, this is what we call the exponent of logarithm rule, or a base to a logarithmic power rule. So it states that raising the logarithm of a number to its base is equal to the number. So this will example of a logarithm function na kung saan meron tayong base tapos ang kanyang exponent is naka-logarithmic form. So we have here the logarithm of n to the base b. So whatever the value of our number here, or the n, ay siya yung magiging value nitong logarithm. Okay? This will appear kapag ka ang ating exponent ng ating base is naka-logarithmic form. Just like for example, if we have here 2 raised to the logarithm of 3 to the base 2, so whatever the value of our number ay siya yung magiging value ng kabuuan ng logarithm na to. Okay? Which is yung equal siya sa 3. So, ito ngayon lahat guys, yung ating laws of the logarithm. So, sa susunod natin na video, i-apply naman natin itong mga laws of logarithm kung paano tayo mag-i-evaluate ng exponential function, paano tayo mag-expand, paano tayo mag-solve ng logarithmic equation, and so much more. Okay, so I hope may natutunan kayo sa discussion natin na ito. And don't forget to follow and of course subscribe na rin para at least ma-notify kayo kapag may bago tayong lessons na i-discuss. With this, nakakapag-advance study kayo about our topic na sa general mathematics. Okay? So have a nice day everyone and God bless.